What have you found as the lacking element that you're noticing in which it needs a modification so that better support is out there?
Yeah, so what we actually found was, at least within Australia, we've got a great, sort of healthcare system to be able to provide, you know, everyone with being able to gain access to the support that they need. However, because there's a lot to do with, neurodivergent assessments or mental health support, the system itself can be quite an extensive wait list, and some people or some children are waiting, 4 5 years to get an assessment, and by that time they almost outgrow the system. And you can imagine during the time where they're not getting help, the families and the parents are struggling, the child is struggling at home, the child is struggling at school, but they haven't really gotten any answers. And one of the main things is also, if they're looking to seek support privately, there are a lot of clinics out there who have psychologists who can provide that initial assessment, which is more so a provisional diagnosis. So a lot of psychology clinics will offer, I guess, a provisional diagnosis, but in order for the diagnosis to actually be formalized, you will need a psychiatrist or pediatrician involved in many cases. And a lot of, I guess, the general population don't know that, and they go in and they engage with a clinic, thinking that they will be able to come out and have an official diagnosis and potentially access medication if it's appropriate. But without a formalized diagnosis, they won't be able to access that. And so I think what we're trying to achieve here as well is to really spread the word in terms of what is required and what we can provide, and really just give them, a lot of the clients, the confidence to say, hey, look, if it is appropriate and your diagnosis is appropriate, we will take you through the process and complete, and you can complete it with us, and not feel like, you're sort of halfway there and then have to find another clinic to engage with a pediatrician or psychiatrist. And the wait list again is very extensive. It can be, a few months to a year as well. So as part of Nexia, what we're trying to do is, and what we do have is our psychologists, pediatricians, and psychiatrists all under the one roof to be able to have that sort of seamless support for the client, so that we can actually carry them through the journey and they don't have to worry about anything other than showing up and being themselves. And from there, we will do the appropriate assessments. And sometimes, a diagnosis is not really appropriate, and that's fine as well. Or some people get a diagnosis and they say, look, I don't actually want to be on medication, but there's so many other aspects to support, which is why we've got our occupational therapists, speech pathologists, or ongoing psychology support to be able to provide these clients with what they need. So it's never only, one option. There's always multiple options that we can explore. And that's why we've got, our specialist team to help guide us and oversight the team to ensure that we're actually taking these clients in the right directions.
How is success like a tightrope?
I think for success, you are always trying to balance two things. Personally, for me, success is family, it's love, it's I guess accomplishment and growth. And so to be able to do so, you're constantly balancing different priorities and trying to consistently move forward, and hoping that nothing falls out of balance. So I think that's sort of my way of, it's like you're constantly on a tightrope to success, but it's worth it. It kind of helps you understand and learn what are the most important things in life, and what, as much as success can look like, growth of a business or financially, I think it really comes down to being able to do what you love with the people you love. And you can't have that if you're constantly heavily on one side or the other side. It's always a balance.
Nicely done. So that's how success is like a tightrope.